received from the people who have shown up or who answered the survey. But no matter what, you know, we know we're in a very difficult time, and no matter if a business is, you know, well disposed or it's on the way, you know, it's being hit by the changes, we all affected by the change. So what we really need is to get creative and get intelligent. This presentation is going to focus on how do we do that. And digital marketing is now more important than ever. And it's forcing us to rethink the way we define our sales process. So if you look at the responses that we got, sorry, I just need to move this out of the way over here, that most people currently want to learn how to, 81% want to learn how to get customers without spending too much money on Google. And the next most important is building online visibility. So that's what I focused this presentation on, or to give people insight as to what is the best way to do that. Sorry, there's a bit of a delay here. Okay, so there we are. So this emotionally, this is where people are. 55% were desperate to find solutions. And I think most people are in that position, and that's what we're going to address. So my first slide really shows on the chaos and the calm, right? So how do we create the calm? So we create the calm by focusing on what we can control rather than things that we can't control. And I don't know if people have seen this slide over here, essentially defining the fear zone versus the growth zone. So I'm asking people here, where do people think they are? One, in the fear focused, which is what you worry about and you stress about. And the second one is you might not be stressed, but you're not focused. You don't have a strategy. And the third one is you know exactly where you're going. So I'm just curious for to know, where are people right now out of those three? Just put it in the box. Are you 1, 2, or 3? Tracy, I don't see the...
So the chat box is open, and everyone can just, okay, comments are coming in between 1 and 2, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3.
Okay, so what just give me a, I don't know why I can't see the...
If you click on your chat box, you can see the comments on your left-hand side coming through.
It's at the bottom next to
there we got it. We got it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. So lots of 2s, 3s. Yes. Okay. Right. So I'm glad I don't see too many 1s, because that is going to create lots of problems. Okay. So for this talk, I'm going to focus on the skills that I believe need to be mastered. And the first main bucket is this digital optimization and intelligence. And why is this so important? It's simply because we have the opportunity to work with Google in order to get that intelligence, so that you can optimize your spend and that you can also outsmart your competitors. Because if you are being attacked by a predator, you don't have to be the fastest person on earth. You just have to be faster than your competitors. So we can get this intelligence from Google if we know how. And the second bucket is understanding your customers. Google can also inform you as to what what is important in terms of how your customers buy your product or service. And that is absolutely critical. So if you don't know that, you need to discover how to do that, because that's almost more important than your product. So we're in the realm here of finding leads, becoming more visible on Google, and getting a better success rate at converting our clients. So this is the area that I play in, and I'd like to help you with. The first is the paid ads. This is a typical mobile search. What comes up first is your ads. Then you have the second area called Google My Business, and my agency specializes in this. And third is organic. So these are the three areas that we need to consider. Paid advertising is very expensive, and not many people trust it. And I'm going to talk about this a little bit later. But this is the quickest way to get to your customers and also to gather that data. The second is Google My Business, which has got a higher trust. And here most people haven't even, they haven't even heard of it. So it's an opportunity where you can optimize your Google My Business effectively and get free leads, because the leads you get from Google, you do not pay for. And then the third is organic search, which is, depending on how long you've been around, you might rank high or you might rank at the bottom. But this is the old paradigm of building authority on Google, and it's long term. So this is best. But what Google's doing now is they don't want people to leave the search engine. So they're trying to answer the query of the searcher, whether it's for a product or a service, without them going to a website. So what they do is they put all their own properties at the top, and they don't want people to leave the search engine by clicking on these organic listings. But it still is important, but it's what's more important is that you use a combination of all these three areas to build up your knowledge, because data is the new gold. The more you have that, as explained, the lower you can cost your advertising, and the more you can outsmart your competitors. So just to give you an understanding in terms of where do you get best return on your investment, you can see by developing your own content here and doing search engine optimization, it's got up to a 700% return on marketing investment versus, say, Google AdWords. So this is the place to focus, and I'm going to show you and explain what we can do over here in order to have greater visibility. In terms of overall web traffic, you can see here Google has more than 3 times the amount of traffic than any other property. So Google is the place to go. YouTube, which is also owned by Google, is even bigger than Facebook. So it just shows you everything else. You only have to be in these 3 places in order to find your customers. So moving on to Google My Business, which for those people who aren't aware of what it is, when you do a search, it's really this snack pack, we call it. The first 3 always appear for free, and the rest of the listings are in this when you click more over here. And what you want to do as a business to qualify for the free lead is to make sure that you optimized in these in this top 3. And we run a service that does that for all areas that you do business. But you can do it in your business and fill it in and optimize it properly so that you appear. And I'm going to show you a few things in Google My Business because this is the promised land for people who don't know what to do, and they don't have a budget, or they don't want to spend too much on AdWords. This is one thing that you can do to enhance your local footprint, connect with your potential audience, and also localize your presence in your particular area. Google are clever because they will give you the top listing in the area that you are registered. However, if you were go 2 kilometers away, you won't appear. Someone else will appear, because it's all based on from where the person searches, especially on their cell phone. It's all geo proxy related. So they want you to pay, but we have a system that we can get around that. This is very interesting in looking at the trust factor in terms of, on average, people click this top listing over here 17.3% of the times, versus the first ad is only 3.6% of the time, which means that this position here is 5 times more trustworthy than the paid ads. If you look at the organic, which is in area 3 that we spoke about, you can see it's almost 30%. But this position over here is not that far off. It's only 10% down. But the point is that Google My Business is the promised land for local businesses, and it needs to be optimized as best as possible. Why it's so why I call it the promised land is because if you come up in that top 3 and people click on your listing, that call, when they click call from their cell phone, comes straight to you, and it's absolutely free. Inside Google My Business, Google are going to tell you how many people search for your business. Did they view it on maps or on the search? What did they do? In other words, did they visit your site? Did they request directions to your business, or did they call you? And then if they called you, when did they call you? They also tell you, they give you a map as to where all the people are coming from. So there's a lot of data that you can get from Google to understand your customers and how they discover you. Another free service that Google offer are posts. It only lasts for 7 days, but when someone clicks on your on your listing, these posts will appear at the bottom here, and it's free real estate. So people will click on this picture, and then they can go directly to your website. This is an example of the insights that you can get from how people found you. So this is a restaurant. So you can see over there, what is your business known for? So you're popular for dinner, casual, serves great dessert. And then over here, they tell you how many people. This is a Neisner restaurant, 323 people in 1 month searched Neisner restaurants, and they found this this listing. So the point is that we constantly update the strategy based on the data that's coming back from Google. So here's more information about, say, here the 122 calls. They tell you when people called and even at what time. So that I have I'm building a course currently, but I have a presentation from last year, from when I presented with AutoJet on Google My Business, and I'm more than happy to share that with people who are interested. So I can run that on video and send that out if people want to know what they can do. Okay, in terms of the most important aspect of once you have your customer is converting your customer. And in order to convert your customer, it's very important to build your authority. And what do I mean by authority? Is that you've got to establish your business as the go-to business for your particular product for both your customer and for Google. Because that is the best way to convert. Right? I can generate awareness, but if you don't convert, then it's a pointless exercise. And in order to do that, we have a process called from pain to glory. So we need to identify what is the pain, what are the problems your customers are having, and then convert them to glory, which is your solution. So that we have a whole process where we try to understand what the fears and desires are of the customer, and we want to know, how does your product and service satisfy those fears and desires? And that is what you need to understand and define so that you can connect your customers to your solution. And that is more important than any marketing. So, you know, we have a very detailed, process to do that. And I'm more than happy to share that. But I just wanted to put this takhla slide, I call it, is because I'm challenging people, how well do they know their customers' fears and desires, and how well your product fits into that, into satisfying their problems. Okay, the other area that I want to talk about is using video, because video is one of the most powerful tools to capture attention. And this morning we created a video to promote this webinar, and I'll play it for you over here. So they say that a picture's worth 1,000 words, but a video is worth 1 billion words. So we love using videos, and we love teaching people how to use video. Here's an example of testimonials that I use when I'm pitching clients. And this is another process that anyone, given the Zoom reality now, you could, to get testimonials, you can record these videos. You can record these videos.
Hi, Andy, please can we ask you to mute yourself?
Laurie, please mute everybody.
So this is, I want to show you the power of testimonials. Just think of, if you're trying to establish yourself as authority, you need to tell that story through other people. So your best clients, you could interview them. We have the templates, just questions you ask them in order to help them, and then we edit the videos afterwards. And I can show you a simple video. It's 30 seconds, how powerful that is.
I'm the CEO of Vaporite. We have a group in South Africa of 18 stores. We plan to be the biggest independent retailer that specializes in vaporizer. Kevin has helped us with the optimization solutions and strategy. No one's actually taken us to the level that we are right now. We've had unbelievable growth and results. I found Kevin's SEO skills being optimal, more efficient than we've ever come across. And so I believe our marketing and our strategy is working more effectively than we've ever had. I trust Kevin, I highly rate his skill set, and I believe we can deliver the right results.
Okay, so how long is that video? I think it's 30 seconds. That is what builds your authority status. If you are interested in that, I can also share the methodologies and the questions that I ask them, and then we can put the video together for you and show you how to do that. But this is what I want to show you now, is a way that you can do it for yourself and generate these videos absolutely free. The product is called Adobe Spark. It's this SP for Adobe Spark. And I want to just quickly take you through how you can just create videos as easy as 1, 2, 3. It's designed for small businesses. And I'm just going to quickly run through it. I just want to pull this onto my screen over here. It's as simple as this. You come into Adobe Spark, it's completely free. You say you want to create, you can do everything in this. You can make Instagram stories, presentations, slideshows, but let's just do the video. So you say create a project, create a video. So let's just put a little name in there just to get the thing going. And I'm deliberately showing you this live because if you're interested, we can come back to this in the question time. So for example, I'll just try, wait, just hang on, video. It usually asks me what type of video do I want to create. Okay, so there you can either promote an idea, tell what happened, show and tell, personal growth, or make up your own. But let's say we want to promote an idea. So you pick that one, it comes in. Right, this first slide is setting over here. It says you describe the world today. What's the setting or context for your story, or show who you're helping? All you need to do is push this button. It's asked for the microphone. And we record. Today, you just speak your script and you click the button, and then it will stop. It will tell you over here that it's recording or not recording. Then you can add a photo. You can upload a photo, so we can just pull in any picture over here. There's from Promised Land. If you want to change the theme, you've got different themes over here, so you can change it. You can change the layout if you want a split screen. So you want to put text. And you can customize anything over here. I don't want to spend too much time on the actual video creation, but I want to just show you the tools so that you can start playing. You can get these videos out. There is no excuse not to make a video. You don't have to appear in the video, but you can actually use photographs. If you want to record yourself, you can actually you can actually record your video of yourself speaking on the computer and then import it into this program. So the methodology is, as you go, you create slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, your solution, and when you're finished, you can add music in here. They give you music for free. You bring your music in. You preview your video. There it is. And then you can share it. So you either publish it or you can download it, and there's your video. So there's no excuse not to be embracing these tools in order to build your authority.
So Kevin, 2 questions that we've had is,
Okay.
would these videos go onto your YouTube channel? And what is better, taped video or Facebook Live?
Well, it depends what you're trying to achieve. Because you can put, this is just how you generate the video, right? But once you can take the video and put it anywhere. You can live stream it, the video, or use it as a part of your live stream. I mean, live streaming, it's a bit hard to talk about it because it's such a big subject. I need to know more about what's your strategy? Okay, before I can answer that effectively. Sorry, what was the other one? Where else can it go?
Yes, could you put the videos onto your YouTube channel?
Of course, you can put your channels wherever it makes sense for you. So this is, you can see the other things you can do is in terms of to promote your business. You can do graphic ads, business, anything you need, it's all there. So I just encourage people to go explore, watch some of their videos. It's really, really easy. But what you have, with the videos that you create, it's got to come from your understanding of your customer. You've got to know what their pain is. And your videos will inform you, are people watching your videos? Are they engaging with you? If they're not engaging with you, it means that you don't know your customer, that you don't know their pain enough for them to want to respond to you. So my process over here is about we help people move from this hope and pray to having predictable, systemized, and scalable solutions to attract buyers and be successful with a system. It's very important that you have a system in place in order to build your own authority, to know what your message is, and then know which is the best channel to surf in. Where are you going to go first? We recommend you go to Google My Business because it's free. We suggest people do a bit of paid ads just to collect the data. And then based on the response, then you know your next step. There's no reason to fly blind in today's time. We want to deliver people into the sweet spot where it's the combination of the 3 different areas of Google in order to better understand who your customer is and how you service them. So that's essentially what I have in terms of the formal presentation. And I wanted now just to get an understanding of the questions people have and how I can best help people with specific issues.
I have asked you the 2 questions in the chat box. Another question came through with regards to you sharing the Pain to Glory method from Nicole.
Okay, so the Pain to Glory method is really, it's understanding the pain that the customer has. So it's a whole lot of questions that we ask in order to dig down into understand that customer so that we can know how to attract their attention. So I can share those questions with you. I just need to get them from a so for example, these would be the in terms of the pain, it's like describe the perfect client you want to attract. So then you would try to break down in terms of What niche is it in? Is there any specialities? What are the demographics and psychographics? What is their biggest pain and problem or frustration? What are the top 3 things that frustrate them on a daily basis? What keeps them up at night worrying, fearful, or anxious? What is the biggest mistake this perfect client is making right now? What humiliates them? What is their most urgent pressing crisis they have to have solved right away? What does your perfect client complain about when with their friends or family? And what is the cost of staying where they are now? So in other words, we have a very standard script that we first call out the person, so that you make sure that people have got an attention span of a goldfish now. It's less than 7 seconds, right? In COVID time, with everyone's online and there's so much information flowing around, it's gone down. It's probably even between 3 and 4 seconds. So you've got to be very specific when you call out people that you can get their attention. And if you don't know what their fears and frustrations are, it's unlikely you're going to get noticed. Right, then the second part is to almost what we call twist the knife, where you make it worse. Right, because you want to, and this question over here, what's the cost of staying where you are now? If you don't act, what's going to happen? How does it escalate? And then you introduce your solution, essentially what you do, and talk about yourself. So that's essentially, that's okay, that's you. Then comes the authority part, which I spoke about, through either testimonials or your track record, or why are you the expert, and then call to action. So there you have a 60-second ad. You've got to be able to tell your whole story in 60 seconds. And that's why it's so important to know your process and have worked this out before you start spending money on Google. Otherwise, you're just wasting money.
Kevin, another question is,
Yeah.
can the videos be added to MailChimp?
Sure, of course they can. MailChimp is just another way to get it out. And I need to mention that with video, because it's so easy to produce, there's a thing called a process that we use in marketing called the sales funnel, which means it's almost, it's exactly like a funnel. You have at the top of the funnel, you have people who are just discovering who you are. That's the awareness, and most of the people are going to be on the top of your funnel. In the middle of the funnel, you get people they know about your product, they've seen your first ad, they're evaluating, they're comparing you against your competitors. At the bottom of the funnel, you would have people who are ready to buy. So they're not researching anymore. So you need to structure your communication to help people move through that funnel. So once they responded to your ad, they should immediately get an email with another video explaining, or say thanking them, but taking them to the next step. Because there's a statistics that people need to see your message from 7 to 12 times before they actually buy. So the question is, can you put it in MailChimp? You've got to use MailChimp all the time, but be cognizant of where that person is in that sales funnel. Because if someone's just learning about you, they can't take too much information. You've got to give them just enough information so that they want more, and they click on a link, or they click on a little button that says learn more, so that you can track that they're moving on in the buying cycle. So video is a very powerful medium to help people move through that funnel. So you have different videos depending on which part of the funnel people are currently sitting. So that's very important. This pain to glory process is essentially only for the first part of the funnel, because we're just trying to get them interested in our service, right? So you can see this was for a client where we had to summarize very quickly, you know, who the client is and what they are, so people can know what to expect. But once they've come into the funnel, then we kick into the second video, the third video, the fourth video. So let's see what else is here. What are some objections? Yeah, so here's some other very key information here. How did you land previous clients and how did you convey? What are some objections or false beliefs your clients have about your solution? So this is important in terms of, you've got to figure out, you know, in terms of people who've rejected your offers, why did they reject it? And when you set up your communication, try include information around minimizing those objections. So the more you can understand by using or pushing out different messages, you can see what's getting traction and what's not, and then try different sales offers and different approaches until you get that feedback, or you get the data to say that you're succeeding. The point is, it's an iterative process. You're using this feedback loop from Google to inform you whether you're succeeding or not. In the old days, you would just place one ad and, you know, wait for the responses. And in this modern world, it doesn't work like that. So part of those key skills is to learn how to do that and how to use Google in a way that makes you more intelligent. Okay, any other questions?
So I have a question from Janine. Yeah. What is the minimum monthly spend for Google Ads?
There's no monthly minimum. They'll take £3.50 if they can. You know, but each category has got their their cost. For example, online casinos is like 18 Rand a click. If you go to you know, insurance, it's 40 Rand a click. You know, but on average, it's about 9 Rand a click, depending on who you're targeting. But Google My Business is good because you don't have to, you can get clicks without spending on Google. You can just top up the clicks with cash to make it a bit faster, and start to, you know, give the algorithm, the Google algorithm, like an indication that you're prepared to spend money with them, so they you know, they look after you, or they give you more traffic. I mean, I'm interested to know with the audience, which people are using Google My Business actively.
So I think this might be the right time to open up the mute so people can speak to Kevin and ask him questions. I know Abiva has one that she's put in the chat box, so that you can respond directly to everyone, Kevin.
Perfect.
So if Laurie can unmute, that would be great.
I've unmuted everybody.
Hi, Kevin.
Hi.
Hi, it's Shimron. How are you?
Can you, Shimron?
Good, good. Kevin, so you said, first of all, there's the credibility video. Let's say obviously, as you know, from our initial discussions, I'm a lawyer. I've done quite a few of these, what you call credibility videos. So how do you know that they have come and thereafter you said you need that second video where once they click that they want your services, how do you know that they've come to you based on your after they've watched their credibility video? So
No, rather don't.
saying, I don't know if I'm making my question clear. So they watched your credibility video, they watched it. Thereafter, they found your follow-up video, and yeah. So how do you know where they came from?
Well, it depends, because you would want to put that wherever it's going to serve your serve your brand, right? So if
But let's say
do it,
Facebook.
well, from Facebook, when the Facebook would have those, they wouldn't know if you don't set it up properly, you won't really know. So the point is that when you work strategically, that everything you do is designed to gather intelligence. That's the difference between
Yes, I
using
know.
a system and just randomly throwing stuff out there. If you don't have a deliberate strategy, it's very hard to gather the right data and to know what you're doing is working. So it's better to do something, to do less, but do it properly so that you can gather the data and
I'm busy in a
understand
meeting now. You cannot disturb me.
is it having traction.
Okay.
So it could just be a matter of a simple sales funnel. You run an advert.
Yes.
You run an advert, it goes to a specific landing page on your website, it has the video on there, and then on the metrics on that landing page, you could be able to see what they did, how they interacted with you. But if they come to you, that's all you want at the end of the day.
Of course, yeah, sure. But you also obviously want to see what's working, like you said earlier. So you
correct. So you would have to, set it up with analytics and make sure that everything.
Someone like you would come in. Okay, cool.
Correct. So I mean, I wanted to impress upon you in terms of this. Where's that that slide in terms of the skills? I don't know where that. I think I'm missing a slide over, and I think it's here. With digital intelligence over here.
Yes.
It's critical. I mean, that's really the cutting edge now, and what defines modern marketing from the old way of marketing. It's like trying to get Google's data set. The trick is to get it at the lowest possible cost.
Sure.
Right? So that's the optimization. That if people are interested and they want to learn more, I can explain it how that works with your specific industry. It's very hard to talk generally over here because I don't know who I'm talking to. I just know everyone wants to go online, right? And basically people are desperate for a solution. So video is a solution, and Google My Business is a solution that you can focus on tomorrow, and you're going to be in a better position, right? Great. This understanding your customers, it was that pain to glory process, right? And that's about really digging down and getting to know your customers and researching them and building your messaging so that it's aligned to them using your brand. It's not just very superficial understanding and just putting like a glib statement out, we do this, this is our service. No one cares about that. People want to know how you connect with them. Why are you better than the next person? Why should they believe you? And that's where the video comes in. It's a very, very powerful way, if done properly, in order to differentiate yourself from your competitors. And people think it's expensive and it's challenging, but right now, as I just showed you with that tool, that you could spend 15 minutes and you would be an expert. You won't have the best video, but you'll have something to go out and differentiate yourself.
Okay, great. Thanks.
Cool.
Kevin,
Yes.
First step is to
are you
import
just
all
taking
photos.
random questions?
Random. Let's go. Let's go.
New
Okay,
workspace,
thanks,
which
Kevin.
activates
This is
this menu
Aviva.
here.
I know you have
And you
Viva.
highlight all the photos
Just
and you
sorry, one
convert them
moment.
to
Let me
the
just
coordinate
mute
system.
the
So you
person
click convert.
speaking. Okay, go for it, Aviva.
Thanks, Kevin. For an absolute beginner, because I'm a complete beginner at all of this stuff, and you were
Yes.
saying you can use that, you can create videos and you can do Google My Business like tomorrow. If you can
Yes.
just explain Google My Business for Dummies. So how can we actually do it tomorrow?
Okay, so basically, I'll just give you a quick demonstration over here. Well, I've got so many tabs. This is blocking the view here. Just hang on a sec. Okay, can you see my screen over here?
Yeah.
You go to Google. Google My Business. So this is my, you just log in over here. You need a Google account. And because I mean, I've got hundreds of accounts in here, but you added location, it's going to ask you what's your business. Just type what's your business's name?
Fields of Change.
Fields of Change. You see, there we go. Is this the one? No, that's in your UK. Your name will appear here. But if I go in here, Fields of Change, don't put your URL. It should appear over here.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it's
On
the
the
one
side over here, but
yeah, it's
so
the first
what
one.
you got?
It's the first one.
No, this is not. It's not this. It's what business is it,
It's
Aviva?
coaching and facilitation, but it showed up the first one, Fields of Change Home.
No, but it's not. It's coaching service. Where do you stay?
In Bramley.
Can you see here's this is Google My Business, right? These are what's coming up. That's the snack pack.
Mm-hmm.
And then here's everyone else. Can you see how many there are? They tell you where they are over here. So if they haven't registered you for some reason, at the bottom here, it's got add a missing place. You just click that, and you just put your name in over here and register it.
Okay.
But if you go to Google My Business and just follow the steps, because they should have it over here. They've got most businesses in the world, but most people don't register their businesses. So that's what I mean. You can jump in tomorrow. You can start optimizing your Google My Business. I can show, and then you first add it here. You have to verify it. I'll give you an example of what it looks like at the back. In the back end over here, you can see this is the home screen. Then you've got all the information that you need to put in over here. This is the most important. Here, all the insights I spoke to you about come in this section. And then in your products and services are very important, because that's how people discover you. And that's with the power. So if you look at, if I go to Insight, I can go for this particular client in this week, you can see they will, I think this is not a good example. You can see this discovery is customers who find your listing your listing searching for a category, product, or service. So you can see there's 8,400 people that in the last quarter that discovered him through Google My Business. And that's why it's very important that you set this up properly. So in order to do that, you put the product name here, what category. You can watch videos on how to do this, but I mean, this is what we do. We help you optimize for every single suburb that you do business in, and then you don't have to pay for it.
Okay.
But this is Google My Business, and I'm saying this is if you have found one gem, you know, for this time that you've invested with us, it's go do Google My Business, become an expert, because this is how you can get a competitive advantage. And if you need support, you can just get my number, or just give me a call, and I'll see what I can do for you.
All right. Thanks, Kevin.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Can I ask a question?
Of course, of course. Who am
I
I
am
talking
on Google My
to?
Business. I just wanted to know, how often should you be active? I was in a position, well, I was posting once a week, like every Monday I would post an ad. So I would definitely, I would get my people viewing my business, but I don't find that it converts to customers. So am I being active enough? Should I be more active than once a week post?
Well, it's the point I made earlier. If people coming in and you're not converting, you need to think why you're not converting. You know, in terms of is that your messaging? Are you have you done the work that your scripts are on point? You know,
So
and how does your
yeah, I do actually think that I am. I'm a dietitian, and I mean, the ads that I'm creating are very much based on people's needs, based on, you know, what you would solve, but diet-wise, and then offering solutions, be it I've offered packages that are cost-effective, based, for example, coronavirus, more cost-effective packages than usual, and so on. Under Google Business, I do post, like they say, do you have an ad or a special, something like that, in the coronavirus update? So I'm quite active there, and like as you were going through the questions in my mind, I was thinking that I am ticking a lot of the boxes. So I'm not quite sure where I'm going wrong.
Well, yeah, see, it's quite hard because I don't, you know, it needs quite a lot of unpacking too. But, you know, if you, my first thing would be to look at where is your success coming from, right? And because that means you're getting a response from people. Or have you differentiated yourself enough? Because maybe the ad is not focused around your best type of person that you might most likely to convert, right? I mean, the one way to do it is to what they call niche the niche, where you go down very, very specific in your advertising so that person feels like you're talking to them, as opposed to just talking generally about health, or you know, I don't know, is there a specific area or the type of person that you work well with? You know, so it's got to do with that messaging and connecting with people that are your best type of customer that you know. So when, you know, where are you running these ads?
So Google My Business usually sends once a week. They'll say your ad is expiring. Click here to post an ad. So then I click and I post an ad on it, and then it comes under. So I checked under Google My Business. I do seem to actually be one of the top 3. Yeah, so that's what I'm asking. How, like, am I posting in the right place? Am I keeping active in the right way then?
Well, the thing is, what I would encourage you to do is to try a whole lot of different ads and see which ones get the best response.
Okay.
You know, because you know, just vary it. One of the, you see, you're probably just posting, you're not really tracking, because Google have a dumbed down version of the analytics, That because I don't want people to get too confused. I just want to take people's money, right? So they make a very watered down version that you can't really control and see what's happening. And that's probably they just sending your ad out, but you're not being able to say where do you focus that. You're just relying on them to place it anywhere. I mean, are you targeting it around your area? Do you know where?
No, not necessarily. So I assume that because it's on the map, they would, they're pinpointing where you are on the map. So is that not are you referring to geographical area?
Correct, because sometimes you can expand that area by that's what my point is. You can actually go wider. You don't actually have to only go in your specific area. So, I would have to, you would have to send me some information in order for me to look at it and give you proper advice in terms of how you can do it more intelligently. And also to look at your offer to see in terms of, is there one ad that's attracting more than the other ad? Once you know that, then you can turn off the ones that aren't working. Are you posting a range of ads, or is there just one ad that you're using?
No, a range.
Okay, what I mean is it?
Yeah,
is
so
it
variety.
So are they? Do they work equally? I mean, how are you using that knowledge from Google to refine your messaging? Or is it just a standard ad that you run every time?
No, I do vary it.
Okay, because look, I mean, you can give me a call. I have a look at it, and I will then be able to advise you in terms of what specific actions you can take.
Super, thank you.
So you can, it's Kevin at Digital Factor. Just send it to me, and I'll see what if I'll be able, once I see it, I'll be able to tell you exactly what's happening there.
Perfect, thank you.
Okay.
So Kevin, I have a question from Michael, and
Yes.
he said that you mentioned to add every suburb. Must you repeat the process for every suburb despite the address being in one place?
No, you can. I'll give you
SA?
an example over here. In this info panel here, it says areas that you service. If you look over here, can you see over here areas? That's the location. It should be over here. They keep changing things over here. Add service area here. Can you see there? So there it would be Norwood. You put Norwood, Santon. And you just kind of bold it out. So that's all, it's all in this panel over here. And then very important also in terms of that I didn't cover is these reviews. Can you see, because Google wants you to be responsive. So in this section here, reviews, they've got a tab here that says haven't replied. So these people, you need to, my client, I haven't started with this client, but you can see he hasn't responded. You must respond to people like immediately. You can get a Google My Business app and do it on your cell phone. Right, so you just push reply and you just say thank you very much and off, and that's it. But you should never have anything outstanding over here. You should, you must be responsive. So the more you post, the more you review, the more you advertise, they reward you. You can also, you get a link that you can send to clients as well. it will be in this section over here when you start, that you can email that to people or WhatsApp them and ask them to give you reviews, because the reviews is going to help you rank higher. Okay.
Sorry, can you just re-show that last part again about sending someone a WhatsApp to review you, please?
Well, here normally they have there's usually underneath here it says here. Can you see this get more reviews over here?
Yes.
Okay, you just click this button, share reviews, and you can see it gives you a link over here.
Great.
So you just go WhatsApp over there, and then it will just send it. That's the link over there, straight to WhatsApp. But my suggestion is don't do it all at once. Do like a few a day. It's a marathon. You got to consistency. If you do, you know, the whole customer base in one day, they'll think something's funny, and you might get a strike. So just do it consistently.
Kevin, just to add on from Michael's last question, now with Corona, obviously we're much more international because everyone locked down. So can you put your service area, let's say obviously we're in Joburg, but can you put your service area as other cities around the world, like I saw there in New York or?
Yeah, you can. But generally you should have a Google My Business per location or per country. You don't only have to have one listing, because when you register your listing, you know, if you don't have a proper address, then they're going to send you a postcard, and it's going to take 18 days. But if you've got a landline and it's a proper business, you know, they can you can just do it by phone verification. But with
I've done that already.
Okay, that's fine. But I'm saying if you had to do that in America, it might be problematic. So I would just increase your.
So, but now that that's done, it won't change my obviously my office address, right?
No, that's always stays the same. That can't change. They won't let you change that.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay.
There's nothing in the chat box. Does anyone have other questions for Kevin?
Hi, yes, it's Nicole here. Hi, Kevin.
Hello, Nicole.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good, thanks. In my case, I don't offer a service. I sell my products online, and I want to know, does it work to steer people to? For instance, I'm busy setting up my website, but I actually sell off Zando. I don't know if you know Zando.
Yes, I do.
So would there be a way to steer them towards Zando?
What depends? What's the product? What type of products are there?
Clothing.
It's clothing, but yeah, you see, if you had to just type in clothing over here, it's like, what type of clothing is it?
It's women's wear, lingerie, loungewear. It's a variety of stuff.
Okay, so if this, could always go to Google loungewear and just see if there's a map listing coming up. And you'll see if you don't see a map, it's probably not a good term. Because really, Google My Business was designed for Google to be the interface between the searching person and the business owner, you know, or bricks and mortar.
Yeah. Okay. So it
wouldn't be good because people are not looking for a specific business, you know. So I don't think it would be good in your industry, but there might be. You've got to just play around. You got to play around because sometimes it appears and other times it doesn't.
Is there a tool that you can see what are the better search terms necessary to use in your ads or SEO or?
There are thousands of those tools, but the best thing to do is when you type it in here. So give me one term of, you know, shoes.
Occasion wear or occasion dresses. Occasion.
Occasion dresses. Now I'm going to put that in there. Can you see this drop down box that comes when you typed in?
Yeah.
These are all the relevant, these are the keywords that you need to use. The Google is telling you these are related keywords to this topic. So when you write your content, you must make sure that you have these terms included inside the inside your copy. But to answer your specific query, this will tell you what other keywords are very popular. And if you go right down to the bottom, they'll be there. Searches related to occasional dresses. Can you see? And
yeah,
so you can also just follow that and just write these down. But there are lots of different tools. I mean, I have these tools over here. It's very expensive software, but it tells me immediately in here. There's another one called Keyword Everywhere. But I mean, you just look for keyword tools. There are lots of them on the internet in order to find that. But your most relevant ones are going to be here in this drop-down box.
There's another tool, but I can't remember what it's called, and maybe you know. It's geographically finding out what sells the best in a certain area. I don't know.
Well,
or has been looked up the most. Has been looked up the most. More.
This is a very good one to look at because it's Google. It's called Google Trends.
Yes, that's the one. I keep forgetting.
So you can put your term in here. So you can put here. What was the search again? Cocktail dresses,
Occasion,
right?
Yeah, cocktail dresses.
So you can put this in here. Right, then it basically you search for South Africa. And then you can put also night dresses. Well, what's another popular that would go with it? So we would actually look
bridesmaids dresses or retinue. No, not retinue dresses. Like wedding maybe.
Dresses.
Wedding, yeah, or bridesmaids.
Wedding dress. If I could spell correctly, that would help. So it gives you the search term. Then you can see the volume. Now, can you see, you can look on the past 12 months, or you can look at the past 90 days. So you can actually see the trends of what's happening. Then it gives you a breakdown here in terms of for the different regions. So you can come take it. You can even go by city, and it's going to tell you there's not enough data over there.
Okay.
But you can look, when you go down wedding dresses, it tells you, or what are the top queries, right? And which ones are rising. So you can, all your keywords and your categories, you can come to this Google Trends and play around and try to find out where is your market. You can even go down by city here. There's a list over here. There's obviously in Cape Town. But this is a very useful tool to get insights as to what's going on in your market. And you can do five terms at a time over here. But this is very, very useful. I use it all the time.
Okay, yeah, this is the one I was looking for. I just forgot what it was called. Thank you very much.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
Thanks.
Are there any other questions for Kevin?
Just one tiny clarification, follow up based on my previous one. So like I said, if you put in, let's say, not only Johannesburg, but New York and London, will it water down your you know, the amount of times you appear for each place?
Well, the thing is, you only appear there if you are the expert. You know, you only become the expert by being the expert, by showing leadership, you know, doing what Google asks you to do better than your competitors, right?
Just
Then
remind me that again.
well, it's essentially your content. You've got good content. You understand your customer. They're engaging with you. You're posting. You answer your reviews, and you get more clicks than your competitors.
Ah, okay, great.
Right, so that's why I try to focus on this authority status to try to become the authority in your niche. Now, to
But do
become
clicks on Facebook count?
No.
Okay.
They're almost like two different planets. That's why the reviews you have on Facebook are irrelevant. You want reviews on this Google My Business because that's where they count. Remember this slide over here? This was telling you that this listing over here is 5 times more credible than advertising. So in other words, it's worth putting investment in here in terms of your time and your content. It's because this is going to be bringing you leads, without doing anything after you've done all the initial work. Whereas here you're paying Google every month.
Yeah.
And you want to try avoid making Google richer than they already are.
Yeah, they certainly don't need that.
They certainly don't need your money. But it's this process over here: build authority, then generate awareness, and then once you know this process well, then you can convert them into cash. So like the lady I spoke to is a dietitian. You're not going to get the conversion unless you really know your audience and you know what works, and you know where you're better than your competitors and can clearly express that in an understandable way. And until you get the feedback from the data, to say that this is definitely working better than from other ads, you're just really shooting in the dark, which in the end just takes more time and costs more money.
Sure. Thanks.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Thanks.
Okay.
Kevin, I have
Yes?
one more question from Hillary. She said, is it important for a business starting up to list on Google My Business or get a website up and running first?
Google gives you a website for free over here. You don't need a website. Can you see this thing has got a website here? You can use this as a website. You don't need, look, it's creating a website immediately. And everything that you publish, there are the reviews. Here the pictures he's put in and directions. You don't need anything more than that. People don't go to websites. They do go. I mean, I can't really say they don't go to websites, but Google My Business is going to be more direct than wasting time with a website. But it depends on the product and how much information needs to be disseminated, and what the education process is about. But if it's very basic, Google will build a site for you immediately. I mean, you can change it. You've got like different templates over here. You can edit the copy. You can add photos. And what else have they got here? Yeah, because I mean, this is all people want is just get quote or call now, get directions. So I wouldn't waste, because a website can set you back 2 or 3 months, whereas you can get up and running with Google My Business and run a few ads, and you can be reaching your customers immediately, like in a day or 2.
So Kevin, just to give you some positive feedback here, Aki has said that he just wanted to say thank you. There's been so many valuable lessons and insights today, an absolutely brilliant webinar. And so many people are seconding that and thirding that. So wow, there's so much. You make us feel as though there's so much that we don't know, because you know so much. And if there are any further questions, we still have a few more minutes. Is there anything else for Kevin before we end our webinar today?
I want to ask a question.
Sure.
I want to know, is Adobe, whatever you said, Spark, really free? Because often you have to pay for the whole Adobe package.
No, it's totally free. If you want the advanced features, I mean, to me, I've been wanting to run courses on this for 5 years because no one knows about it. Yeah. And it is basically, you can build websites, you can do everything in it, but I know that it's, I've got a paid version because one of my clients used it, but I know that I've used the free version for years. So you definitely can do those videos. I'm just trying to see.
Okay, don't worry, I'll Google it. Then I want to ask you, can I get your contact details if I want to ask you something?
Sure. It's 082.
Oh, great. Okay, thank you, Jan.
777.
777.
9973.
73. Thank you. That will be great. Thanks.
Pleasure. So here we can see, I don't know if they've got a paid, they don't look, there's no pricing over here. But I mean, listen, they're in business over here. There's just, it's designed to help you out. So I mean, you can't replace a designer per se, but you can get 80 to 90% where you need to get.
Okay, great. Thanks.
You know, and start testing all your messaging out with your customers. So the paid version, you can, you know, put different brands in, and it's very sophisticated, but 90% will be in the free version.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. So I'm Tracy. What I wanted to do is just get an understanding of what people would like to see. Maybe in the chat box, just give an indication, what is their next step? Well, what are they struggling with most? So that we can try to design something and like have an ongoing a forum in order to help people go to the next step and to remove all the roadblocks. And I'm more than happy to do that. I mean, we love helping people.
Great, thank you, Kevin. So I think if everyone could just put their comments in the chat box on what they would like to see next, although you will be receiving a feedback survey. And on the feedback survey, it literally takes like a minute for you to complete. But we look at the feedback and we obviously take all the feedback received from a number of our webinars to ensure that we are giving all the Orchard businesses exactly what they're asking for. So just coming through at the moment, we have things like SEO, Facebook ads, what else has come through? SEO, Facebook ads. A question from Michael: does Google Business require constant maintenance to keep you in the top 3? No,
it doesn't. But you have to you have to do some you have to do like your initial work. You have to do your initial work to set it up properly.
Just responding to
so
some
that's
questions.
why I mean it's when people interested and they want to do it properly, then they need to phone me, and then I can actually advise them how to go about it. And if they want to take a very basic service, I'm trying to engineer a package that it's affordable for people so that they can make huge progress, by spending a very little amount of money. And once you see that it's working, then you can basically invest more money, because that's all, you know, the cash flow right now, I know, is a killer. So we're trying to engineer these solutions to help people to get confidence in these, in the process of becoming, you know, digitally intelligent, smarter, because that's the way to go. You know, you beat your competitors with Seichel.
So Kevin, from the Orchard team, thank you for an incredible afternoon. The last hour and a half literally has felt like a couple of minutes. You've shared so much with us, and your expertise on the subject is really mind-blowing. It's phenomenal. I know that you've given out your mobile number. The resources will be sent to everyone that joined us this afternoon, but you will be getting the first call from me, so please take my call first. And to all participants, thank you for joining us this afternoon with Kevin Factor. We appreciate your participation and attendance, and we look forward to seeing you at the upcoming OrtJet webinars. Kevin, thank you so much for your time.
Absolute pleasure.
Let's look at our program going forward to see that we are including everything that everyone wants.
Fantastic, because I'm even like to go through a case study and just go through Adobe Spark would be very, very useful. You know, so it's very specific, and you know, people can actually build out their own projects, or we can pick one person and do it for them, and then everyone can watch, and then we learn by doing, as opposed to me just talking and, you know, showing you fancy things, but there's nothing to show at the end.
It's wonderful. Thank you so much, Kevin. And I will be in touch with you now, and I'm sure the rest of the participants will be making contact with either yourself or through us, and we will refer them on to you.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you very much.